Hello class. It's now time for us to start the fourth module of Unit 3, where we're going to talk about video production. Now obviously we're not going to turn us all into videographers, but the kind of software and hardware that we now have available to us as professionals is so easy to use and so effective that some very simple kinds of videos, and you've seen a number of them that I've produced, including this one, are really a valuable tool for anyone as a professional and more specifically as an instructor. So let's talk about this module. Obviously we know that this module ends and is assessed by your producing a video, this introductory video. And that's 60 points out of the 100 points for this particular unit of the course. But we've already, or you will have already dealt with half of that. The script itself was worth 10 points, and the audio recording that you made was worth 20 points. So the video that you're going to be producing, and I'm going to talk about what that means, is worth 30 points, and it's due the end of the semester. I think in Blackboard it lists those due dates. So here's what we're really going to talk about today. We're going to talk about what you should do for this particular module of the course. First of all, you're looking at this video, and it will then help you get an idea about the kind of thing that you'll be producing, because this is maybe a longer but certainly an example of the kinds of things that I expect you to do for this course. Next, there are some examples of welcome videos that we produced. I've tried to select ones from the health profession, so you can take a look at those to see what people have said. And by the way, you are not restricted to what you wrote in your script or what you wrote in your audio. You can revise that as you see fit. But let's keep it simple. Let's not try to be too fancy with this, the video you're producing. There are also some places where you can download software, Windows Movie Maker or iMovie, which will come on your Macintosh that you'll need. There is also an example of how I produced a video that you can look at, and there are a number of examples of production strategies that you might want to look at in the student scholarship page. I think that's all explained pretty well in Blackboard. So what you'll want to do first thing you want to do is you're going to want to review those materials, get yourself mentally prepared and actually prepared to produce this video. So what are you going to need? You're going to need a web camera, obviously. You can use a simple little eyeball camera that costs like $35. Logitech has a number of them, and I would say don't go with the most expensive, because the relatively inexpensive ones do just about as effective a job at both capturing video and capturing audio as the more expensive ones. But most of our laptops now, matter of fact, I think all of our laptops now come with a built-in camera. I like those cameras, but we have to be careful because it's hard to adjust what the camera is pointed at when it's on our laptop. But those certainly will work very nicely. And then the microphone built into your laptop will also work quite effectively. Next, we need software. Well, Windows Movie Maker, especially version 2.6, is my favorite. I use a Windows machine, and I like Windows Movie Maker 2.6 for a couple of reasons. First, it's straightforward. There are a number of tutorials. It's very effective. It does a great job. But it has a characteristic for when you produce your video, after you've captured it with your camera, you can produce it in any file size you want, from 5 meg, which is usually the max you can send as a enclosure or attachment to an email, up to hundreds of megs if you need to. So you can select the size based upon where you're going to post or how you're going to use the video you produced. When I produce a video for email, I make it a 5 meg version that I send via email to you all, and then I get a 20 or 25 meg version that I post in Blackboard. That works very nicely. iMovie comes on all Macintosh laptops now. It's a very effective software package. You can use that. It produces .mov files, whereas Windows Movie Maker produces .wmv files, Windows Media Video files. And there's other software you can purchase relatively inexpensive, $50, $75, but those are the two I suspect you use most often. Then you need a location. Well, I think since this is a welcome video, it ought to be produced where you work, where you're going to be, where you're attempting to welcome people to. Now, maybe you don't want to do this in your basement. We could probably play Where in the World is Mike Simonson, but this is my office. This is where I'm working this summer. But maybe it would be your lab, maybe it would be your clinic, maybe it would be your office. But find a location that is relatively quiet. It doesn't have to be silent, and where you can set it up and have a few minutes to actually practice your recording. Home offices work very nicely. You need a little skill. You need to practice a little bit. Don't just don't delay this, set out and not even make a video, but produce a couple of short videos and render them or turn them into a video file. Take a look at them, play them back, see what you think of them. Don't necessarily want to show them to anybody at this stage, but practice a little bit. And also practice putting titles on and some of the other kinds of things. And then if you get stuck on something, you can give me a buzz or talk to someone in the class and they can help you out. Some ideas, some things you want to think about. And these are listed also in Blackboard. First of all, follow the rule of thirds. I've made an attempt at doing that here, where if you divide the screen horizontally and vertically into thirds, those lines on the third is where the center of interest ought to be located. And the key center of interest ought to be at an intersection of those lines. So you got the vertical lines, you got the horizontal lines, and you can see I'm kind of off center. Well, that's not a mistake. That's supposedly has been demonstrated to be good composition for videos. Top of the head should be near the top of the frame, not way down real low, but don't shoot over the top of your own head. The camera should be about eye level, and you should want titles, put titles on. The beginning, at the end, at a minimum, so people know that this is a start and know that it's over, but also you can superimpose titles. So let's review. Review all the examples. Review what I posted. Take a look at all those, as many of those little tutorials that are posted as you feel the need to. Look at some of the examples. Become familiar with some of the terms. Next, get your equipment ready. Practice with it. Make sure your Logitech camera or the camera that's built into your laptop you know how to use and it's working effectively, so you don't get frustrated when you actually want to sit down to do this. Download your software. If the software isn't on your computer, I think the new laptops, Windows laptops, come with Windows Movie Maker Live. I don't like that as much as 2.6. You can go to the site that I put in Blackboard and you can download, and you can use either one. Practice with both of them. Then you want to produce your video. You want to capture it. You want to read your script. You want to narrate your script and capture it. Then you're going to want to edit the video, editing out mistakes. Probably most of the time for a 1 or 2 3-minute long video, it's easier just to start over and do it over again. But edit, add titles, and then save the video in one of these 3 file formats. .wmv, Windows file, .mov, or MPEG-4. MPEG-4 is sort of a generic file. Probably you're going to want to use one of the Windows files, or you're going to want to use .mov files. Then you want to send it to me. Since these files are probably going to be fairly large, larger than 5 megabytes, you're going to have to send them to me in my office on a flash drive or on a CD or on some storage medium that you can send to me, either in campus mail or mail to me. If you get this done before I return to my office in North Miami Beach, you'll want to send it to where I'm at. Just drop me an email and I'll give you the address, and you can drop it in the mail when you get it done. So have fun with this. This is really not to make us videographers, but to provide you with a tool that you can learn how to use over your career that will become increasingly important to you, and that is really quite simple and very effective. So have fun with this one also.